In this video, we are going to show you how to back up and restore your mail and deploy environment. Whether you want to protect your current setup, recover from an unexpected issue, or move your installation to a new server, this video will walk you through every step you need to know. Before we begin, keep in mind that everything we are covering here applies to on-premises installations of mail and deploy. If you are using our SaaS version, you don't have to worry about manual backups at all. They are taken care of automatically in the background. You can also find all related articles in our knowledge base, which is a great reference if you want more detail on any of the steps we will show you in this tutorial. First, let's start with the installation folder, because this is the foundation of your backup. When you install Mail and Deploy, by default, it's placed in C Mail and Deploy. Inside this folder lives your repository, which is essentially the brain of your Mail and Deploy environment. This repository contains all your configurations, workspaces, and data structures. If you ever have to restore your system, this is the single most important thing to have. Think of it like the vault that holds everything your reporting solution needs to run. If you have a safe, up-to-date copy of this folder, you're in a strong position to recover from almost any problem. Next, let's look at how to set up automatic backups. Mail and Deploy makes this easy, but you need to enable it manually in the Management Console. In the Management Console, go to Settings Backups and tick the checkbox to activate automatic backups. By default, this option is turned off, and that's because you need to tell the system where to store the backups. For this example, we'll choose a local folder. But in a real-world production environment, you should always store backups on a file server or a different storage location. That way, if the local machine fails, your backups are safe. When setting the path, use a UNC format such as server name, share name, folder. You can then configure how many backup files to keep. In our case, we'll set it to 15 and choose whether to compress them into zip files to save space. Once this is done, backups will appear in the destination folder, clearly timestamped so you know exactly when each one was created. Automatic backups run on your chosen schedule, daily, weekly, or monthly, and Mail and Deploy will perform them automatically as long as the system is online. Now, let's talk about manual backups, which are important if you want full control over the timing or need to make a copy before a specific change. The golden rule here is always stop the Mail and Deploy service before you back up manually. That's because the repository is stored in a SQLite database, and stopping the service ensures the database is in a clean, consistent state before copying it. Once the service is stopped, copy the repository.db file to your backup location. Then restart the service to bring your environment back online. It's a good habit to include the Mail and Deploy version number in your backup file name. For example, 3.5.8rc2 repository.zip. Why? Because you can restore a backup to a higher version. Mail and Deploy will handle the upgrade, but you cannot restore it to a lower version. So knowing the version up front will save you time and confusion later. Another important thing to know is that Mail and Deploy automatically creates a backup during every upgrade. This happens before the installer applies any changes to your repository. These upgrade backups can be a lifesaver if something doesn't go as planned. Just remember, the upgrade process also optimizes the repository, and that requires disk space. So before upgrading, check that you have enough free space to store these backups and perform the optimization. Let's now go through restoring a backup when the system is still running, but you need to go back to a previous state. For example, if a workspace was accidentally deleted. Here's how. 1. Check where your backups are stored. 2. Stop the Mail and Deploy service. 3. Rename your current repository so you keep it as a safety copy. 4. Copy the backup file into the installation folder and rename it to repository.db. 4. Restart the service, and you're back to the state captured in that backup. Now let's do this. Here are the backups. Now we are stopping the service. We rename the current repository, copy the backup, and give it the name repository.db. Last step, restart the service, and we are back. Same applies if your server fails completely. Let's say the hard drive dies. You'll need to reinstall Mail and Deploy from scratch. Once the installation is complete, Copy your backup repository.db into the new installation folder, restart the service, and your environment is restored exactly as before. Finally, let's walk through migrating to a new server, something that happens if you're upgrading hardware, moving to a new virtual machine, or shifting to a different data center. For this, new installation, you need the service account credentials, and you need a new license key. The process is straightforward. 1. Create a backup of your repository on the old server. 2. Install mail and deploy on the new server. 3. Stop the service. 4. Replace the new repository file with your backup. 5. Start the service on the new server. 6. Activate your new license. Remember, licenses are tied to the machine name. 7. Update the information of the new server in the Settings, Server. After that, your mail and deploy environment will be running on the new server exactly as it was before. And that's it. You now know how to back up and restore your mail and deploy environment in different scenarios. Whether you're creating automatic backups, making a manual copy, recovering from an issue, or migrating to a new machine. Keeping your repository safe means keeping your reporting environment safe. And with these steps, you'll always have the confidence that your data and configurations are protected. And that's it. Thanks for watching.